Anything that is exponential, you can't see. We used to talk about new normal when after the COVID, post-COVID new normal. Today we have new normal almost every day. Perhaps will gradually change, because today I think education doesn't need a boundary from semester to semester. Students could even find information faster and more accurate than professor, and therefore I think teaching and learning will have to change. Education is always the last sector to change. Of course, with the AI assistant, they be able to learn a lot by themselves. Every student will have an AI companion with them, who stay with them all the time, learn about the negative side of AI. People can generate anything, to look like real. You don't trust anything until it's proven.
Exactly.
You have to follow technology. If you miss by a month or 2 months, maybe you miss the last train, because we don't follow the silo type of education. Since we have this AI, perhaps students do not need to be specialists. They should be more generalists, and whenever they need something, they use AI. Eventually, the world may not have any border anymore, and the government themselves, they cannot provide anything. So they are useless. AI should prevent war,
Yes.
So AI search all the options.
Yeah.
The best option would be to kill all the humans.
Welcome to the Freya podcast. Today, we're joined by Dr. Warsak, Executive Director at Chulalongkorn School of Integrated Innovation, CSII. We're collaborating to bring AI-powered education to Thailand and ASEAN. Let's explore this exciting journey with Dr. Warsak.
And I'm sitting here with Dr. Wolasak, and we are sitting at the university in Bangkok called Chulalongkorn. And welcome.
Well, good morning, Andreas and Thor. It's my pleasure to join the conversation with both of you. It's morning in Thailand, and this is Chulalongkorn School of Integrated Innovation, a small school set up by Chulalongkorn University, which is one of the very old and top university in Thailand.
Let me start with the first one. Do we think AI is good or bad for the education system?
Well, for education system, I think some people are a bit skeptical and a bit careful about using AI. But I think up to now, I think people start to understand that they cannot avoid using AI. So they're kind of joining the bandwagons, I think for me, I think AI will contribute more than the other side, the dangerous side, especially for education, because especially for our students, we are a school where students do not go deeply into any specific subject area. They learn on a broader sense of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but they don't go deeply into either one of them. So with AI, they would be able to explore, any area that they are interested, because the main goal is to create innovation, and innovations to be impactful. It has to be a kind of deep tech, and just applying business model, I think would be easily duplicated, So they need something very special, very deep tech, something that only come from deeply from STEM, and for this AI will be a boon for them, because it will help them exploring, a lot of ideas coming from the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So for me, it's very good. It's a boon for our school.
The speed of learning, I think this is maybe the biggest challenge about the increase of speeding, because when you follow in a university, you have your semester, you have your pensum, you follow something, and even before you finish your one semester, the real world almost move faster.
Correct. I think the original structure of education, especially in undergraduate program, perhaps will gradually change, because today I think education doesn't need a boundary from semester to semester. Everything could be a continuum for 3 or 4 years, and students should be free to learn, in any subject area without limiting to time and place. They can learn at home, they can learn anytime. That means the program can be condensed or compact, so they could even eventually complete in 2-3 years rather than 4 years, in a standard conventional program in Thailand is 4 years.
But what's the role of teachers in the future, you think? Because I think it's a big challenge for them to adapt into this new way of teaching and learning.
Correct. I think the very big challenges for them. In the past, they consider faculty member or professor to know everything in the classroom. Students just note down all the thing that professor put on the blackboard, assuming that he know everything. But today, a student could even find information faster and more accurate than professor, and therefore, I think teaching and learning will have to change. I see that professor could become a coach, for them to learn something and more personalized education for students. I'm not sure the setting of having a big lecture room with hundreds of students and one professor, I think that could still be effective or not. I'm not so sure. So it's a kind of a gradual change, but the world changed so fast, so that is a challenge. Education is always the last sector to change because people are very conservative in university.
I think it's really interesting about you say about coaching, but the challenge about if you have to coach, it is one-to-one, and there are many students. But I can really, I think you're right, because nobody can sit with all the knowledge in the future. It moves too fast. It's not like you say in the past, the professor have the answers, the professor knows everything. Right. But it is actually interesting general question about how can you actually use AI to support for coaching, for the teacher can coach the students. I think it might be one of the.
I mean, we are thinking a lot about what kind of tools could we help to provide and to help the education system and to help the teachers. Right. Because we are thinking a lot about tutoring, I mean a digital tutor, digital twins, and to help the teachers become that one-to-one tutor. But that's definitely some of the things that we are working on here. But,
okay. But I think today we assume that students will have 24 hours, 7 days to learn. I mean, they can adjust the time and so on. Of course, with the AI assistant, they be able to learn a lot by themselves with interaction with AI assistant, because AI have all the knowledge in the cloud. They know more than professors. I mean, mostly, except in some area, So I expect that perhaps in the future, every student will have an AI companion with them, who stay with them all the time, learn about what you call is the digital twins, right?
Yeah, it's a digital twin.
Yeah. So they perhaps know more about the person than himself know about them. So with that, I think AI could kind of gradually accumulate all the information about the persons, then customize, based on to fit the persons, you know, and for the knowledge sometimes is very static, you know, like history, for example, they don't change, you know.
True.
So students can learn anytime, you know, can learn by themselves. But the one that keep changing, you know, like technology change and so on, I think the AI may have a more role to play, you know,
Yeah.
because the AI could keep up with the technology and perhaps constantly remind the person who is the twins about the change, you know, and what they should learn in the futures. So this kind of adaptive.
Yes.
At the moment, there's a lot of talks about disinformation and misinformation, and then I think that's an ethical question we need to talk about in the future, because what is right and what is wrong in this, how can I say, subjective world that we are going into. What is your point on that?
Yeah, I think it's a big challenge not only for education sector, but I think our lifestyle will change. You know, we used to trust that what we see is the truth, but today, you know, we start to question whether whatever we see, the video or photo, pictures, you know, can we trust them? You know, so this is kind of the negative side of AI. You know, people can generate anything, you know, to look like real, and sometimes we cannot differentiate. So I think we should also use AI technology to help us differentiate truth from false, you know, from fake.
Personally, I think it's very important to keep the students both curious but also cautious, and you know, they need to be critical about the information that they hear, because you really need to how to fact check things that you read and hear, and I think it's important. I think science is about that in many ways, but
yeah, it's a principle of science.
Yeah.
You don't trust anything until it's proven.
Exactly, but you still have to be curious also, and you should. Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what do we think is the future of AI? I mean, where is this all going? It's a very difficult question, of course.
It's very difficult to predict, right?
Yes.
Of course, anything that is exponential, you can't see. You know that something is coming, but you don't know what is coming.
Exactly.
It's a bit different from other global mega trends, you know, like climate change or poverty, or you know exactly what is coming. It's coming a bit slow. It gradually comes. But for AI, for this kind of disruptive technologies, you know it's coming, but you don't know what is coming. That is a problem. Yeah. So the best way is to prepare ourselves. We told our students that you know, you have to adapt. So this 4 years is best for you to prepare yourself to be adaptable to something new. So you must prepare now, not only for job right after your graduation. You have to prepare now for 20, 30 years afterwards, you know, which nobody knows what would be.
But who can predict the future? Just so 3 years or 5 years.
Correct. You prepare yourself to be adaptable to change.
Yes.
But again, if you say if everything come in a exponential, the speed of adjust.
Very difficult.
Yeah, we'll get a new.
You see today, every day is something new coming up. We used to talk about new normal when after the COVID, post-COVID new normal. Today we have new normal almost every day.
True.
You know,
it's exponential, yes, as you say.
Correct. Yes. And if I told my students, you have to follow technology. If you miss by a month or 2 months, you know, maybe you missed the last train. You know, it's difficult if you don't follow now to realize that you need to follow technology another year after, but it's too late, you know, because you need all the background before you can jump up to the train.
True.
What do you think is the biggest pros and the biggest cons in this AI movement? I know it's a difficult question, of course.
Very difficult. I think the pro is, of course, we have someone or something to work for us. You know, I think in the future perhaps we human perhaps don't need to work so hard. But of course that come with the negative side. You know, if you don't work hard, if you don't use your brain, perhaps you become inactive and you know, and some perhaps, I don't know, people were talking about AI attaining consciousness and become, you know, take over the human on this planet. Who knows?
How do you think Thailand and the university here is prepared compared to, we will call the competition, because the competition is global right now?
Correct. I think today there's no boundary, but Thailand is too conservative.
Okay.
I think for some reason, I think we are not as excited as, you know, perhaps people in other countries like Japan or Korea or China. Mm-hmm. We are still too busy with all the regular things, you know.
Yeah.
Even people, of course, there are a group of people who know that AI is coming and it will be very useful, and if you don't follow, you know, you are going to miss the boat. But the majority of the population, I don't think they realize that in Thailand.
But what I hear you say about how you want to change your education system, I think this is actually quite in front of what I hear from other places. I don't think you hear it anywhere in Denmark on any university where we come from. So you are aware of it. That is a good start.
Well, we start with founding our school, which is a bit unconventional, because we don't follow the silo type of education where students are trained into one specific area very deeply and become specialists. But then they just focus on their discipline, you know. In the real world, everything is interdisciplinary. You know, it affects one another, and that is I think the shortcoming of the education model since 19th century, you know, and since we have this AI, perhaps students do not need to be specialists. They should be more generalists, and whenever they need something, they use AI to search for knowledge for them, you know, at time of need, and at the right place and the right time.
I think the challenge here is, Elon Musk say the same, it will actually not be unique basic income, it will be high income, because we can make infinity production, you know.
Correct.
But the problem is, the companies will have the technology.
They would
America and China.
Correct.
And will they share it with Thailand?
Yeah, that's a big question. Also, we talk about eventually the world may not have any border anymore.
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if we talk about UBI, you know, it's gonna contribute by a group of elite, you know, and the government themselves, they cannot provide anything, so they are useless. And then how can they govern the people? They cannot.
That is
exactly. Eventually, all the border will be smeared, and people will move around.
But it will be there will be a need for a different political system in a way, and it's going to change a lot. It really is going to change a lot.
It could become a global government or something.
I would like to see China, North Korea, and US.
That's a difficult question, because
a bigger model of North Korea for the world.
But we don't want war, we want peace. And how do we do this the right way? This is really difficult.
I have a joke. I mean, I read they ask AI, you know, what they just program into the AI, you know, so that AI should prevent war, you know.
Yes.
So AI search all the options.
Yeah.
The best option would be to kill all the humans.
That's
the movies, right?
Correct. But AI is correct.
It is correct.
the final solution.
Yeah, the absolute solution is that you get rid of all the humans, then the planet will be peaceful.
That's
Solve all problems.
That's a paradox.